may be over, but the holiday season is still here, and it is time to maybe start thinking about your goals for 2018. Maybe you're considering transitioning, maybe you're considering starting a new career, maybe you want to end the career, and move into retirement. But whatever you want to do, I thought we would talk to Marie-Helene Sakowski.
Yes.
How did I just ruin that?
You're doing a great job.
I want to talk about goals, so excited to talk about it. So now your company name is Effective Placement.
That's right.
Which for me thinks HR.
I did start off there. I started off as a recruiter, and when I started the business, that's what I did. And then I transitioned into a broader landscape, right? And so I want to talk about transitions with people because it's something that I'm very familiar with. I've had a number of different careers in my own life, and we're living in a real period of volatility right now. Like, it's a volatile time for many people in their personal lives, certainly in their business lives, certainly in terms of global scenarios. Things are changing very rapidly, very dramatically, and we're not really sure how to deal with all of that. So transitioning is really a big subject right now.
And I love how you use the word transition versus change, because I know change can be a really scary word.
It is really scary for many people. I mean, I started off thinking that I was going to just call it a change management process. Well, that just sounds like so engineer-like and very technical. And what I want people to realize is that a transition process is just that, a transition process, and we've all done it. You become a parent, you transition into that. You started off as a single person, you meet your life partner, you have children, you transition into that, you transition into a workforce, into full-time, part-time, you transition into any number of roles in your life, and we don't somehow stop and acknowledge that, and sometimes we get a little tied up in knots about how fearful it is, or, oh no, I have to do this again.
Yeah.
And it's a natural thing. So I wanted to just spend a little time, particularly with people, to just provide them with some tools to assist in that process.
Because I think sometimes we need the tools because we get stuck.
We do.
And we get stuck either being complacent, we get stuck being, we're happy enough, we get stuck, I don't know what I want to do.
We get stuck settling for what we know, and that's not always a great place to be, because you wake up one day and you're like, oh, what happened to my life?
Yeah.
I'm still doing this thing, and I didn't see myself doing this at this stage in my life or my career. I thought I would be in a different spot. So we get complacent, we get comfortable, and to really, sometimes to step out of that comfort zone is so fearful for us, because we think we're going to lose, as opposed to opening up the doors to see what we can have and what we can gain. Yeah. So let's talk about some ideas of, people are thinking, well, how can you help me? So I want to expand my business and increase my revenue. Can you help me? Absolutely, because we're going to go through some processes during these workshops that are going to actually give you some tools to get you from that unstuck place to a place where you are able to, number one, speak authentically, be an authentic listener to your audience. And when you have that kind of presence, then you can move forward and enroll and engage other people in what it is that you want to do. So then growing your business isn't such a, oh my God, how am I going to do that? Oh my goodness, I can't do this today. I've got, this, and this. Instead of living that time-compressed situation, we have a different landscape to move from, one that's, when you're a football player, they talk about being in the zone. They have all the time that they need when they're in the pocket and in the zone to catch that ball and make the play. Well, we can do that in your life as well. We can create a pocket or a zone where you have the time to actually do what you love to do, and where you're actually turned on and passionate about your life again, instead of settling for. Yeah.
Sometimes we get so caught up in doing the things we don't love.
We do.
We do them because we think we have to. I don't know.
We do them because they're comfortable and because they're routine, and we don't know how to step out of that. We think, well, this is my life. I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? It's okay, and I can manage, and I can manage. Yeah. And the truth is you can manage, but are you lit up about it?
Yeah.
Are you enthused about it? When you wake up in the morning, are you ready to go, or are you kind of like, I need 3 cups of coffee just to get out the door? And I'm not saying that you don't need the coffee, even if you're enthused, but you'll need it for different reasons. You'll have it because you enjoy it, as opposed to, if I don't have this caffeine, I can't do it.
Yeah. What about the total other end of the spectrum where, you know, well, you're loving your life, you're loving it, but you're like, I need to start winding down. Maybe your partner has already winded down, and you're like...
Even if you're loving what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you are a successful entrepreneur or small business owner, and you're kind of like going, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. I'd like to have some more time for my family. Maybe I want to do a bit more traveling. Or there's that lovely beach calling me somewhere, you know, or I went to Spain last year and I wanted to have a guest home there. So whatever that is, there's a way for you to transition in that too and still be turned on, tapped in,
Yeah.
embracing your life, as opposed to being fearful again of that change. Because what I hear from many women and men who are, you know, successful, but are like, look, what am I going to do with my time? How am
Yeah.
I going to use it? Well, what happens if, you know, I transition out of my business and it bombs, or
Yeah.
I have to go back in, or, you know, there's 1,000 different things that can take place, and I can't, you know, cover them all. But we do give you some tools, or I do give you some tools to sort of get you out of that. I got to stick it out because what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
There's a whole world of possibilities out there for people, and it, you know, it doesn't look the same for two people. For some person, it could be, I'm going to go and, you know, do some work in a third world country, right? Somebody else is going to say, you know what, I'm just going to travel with my family. I've got the 6 cruises booked for the next 2 years, and that's what we're going to do. It doesn't have to look in a particular way, but it does give you the freedom to take the action to have what you like, as opposed to, I got to stick around because they need me. Maybe, maybe they do, or maybe they don't, and maybe it's your own fear that's having you think that you need to stick around.
Yeah, I think the whole, my purpose of my life, if I feel empty once I leave, like you had just said about they need me, you know what? Take 3 weeks off and you'll find out how much they need you. They're still, you know...
The world continues.
The world still continued.
The life continues,
Yeah.
the business continues, and it may actually thrive in your absence.
What?
You may find that stepping away from your business, the revenue increases by 5, 10, 15%, maybe even 20.
Oh, no.
You know, like, so, and then what? You know, that's not a bad thing. I mean, none of it's good or bad. It's not that black and white. But again, like I said, we're living in a very volatile period. So to create that space for yourself, to create that zone, that pocket, where you can move forward with the transitions, or where you can embrace the possibilities of what's in front of you, instead of thinking, I got to be in this retail outfit for the next, you know, and they're going to carry me out in a box, because what else am I going to do?
Yeah, that's crappy feeling.
Yeah, and and it doesn't have your life move forward. No. So really, you know, what we want to do is encourage people to look at life from a different point of view, embrace the transitions that are coming. You know, people resist it because they're afraid of loss. They resist it because they're not sure how to communicate that change to their loved ones.
Yeah.
You know, they embrace it because they're fearful of what may happen as a result. And all of those things we can't control an end result the way we like to, but we can step into a process and we can make it happen for us in a way that leaves us empowered, leaves us feeling, you know, really great about our lives, where we're authentic, where we're contributing still, maybe not in the way we thought, but in a whole new world opens up for you. And you know, when that happens for my clients, I get really excited.
Yeah.
It's a really lovely process to watch.
Well, it's like a service to others.
Yes.
I mean, it is. I mean, you are providing a service, but it's such a good feeling to know that on the other end, they become happier.
They become happier.
Yeah.
They become more engaged in their lives. They're making a bigger contribution. I mean, what a powerful gift to give at this time of year.
Yeah. So now you do have some seminars coming up.
I do. I have 2 dates in Regina. Okay. One on January the 26th and one on February the 23rd. They're going to be held in downtown Regina at the, I think it's the Royal Bank Building. It's at 2010 11th Avenue.
Royal Bank Building.
Royal Bank Building. So there's a business center there called the Regis Center, 7th floor. They're going to go from 9 till noon, and both dates are Friday. So do you have to go to one and the other, or is it a one-day seminar? You can do both, depending on where you're at, or you can just go to one. You don't have to do both. They're going to build on one another, but it depends on the participants as to where they're at. Good. And I'm going to have the registration details out online on January the 4th. Good. And where do we find those? They will be on effectiveplacement.com, and they will also be posted on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Good. Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful to speak with you. Thank you for taking me on today. Thanks very much. All right.
So I want to thank Marie-Helene for joining us here on Access 7, talking about our goals for 2018 and how we can transition versus change, because I think sometimes change is a scary word. So if you want to see her, come to one of her seminars coming up January 26th or February 23rd. Check out her website coming up. I want to thank you for joining us here on Access 7, and I hope that 2018 is a wonderful year for you. And maybe you need to transition from school, from a work. Maybe you just need to retire. Maybe you just need something exciting. It's 2018. It's time for a change. Thanks for joining us here on Access 7, and Happy New Year.